Tanner and I are here to call our shots. We're recording this video still during the week. Haven't even seen the Final Four yet, but we're here to talk about the best picks to win the national championship. And if you guys are commenting on this video on Sunday or Monday and we look like total idiots because our team's lost in the Final Four, then hey, it is what it is. That's part of the fun of YouTube. So if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you hit the like button. Also subscribe so you never miss out on our future videos. But let's go ahead and let's talk about, I guess, I don't know if you want to do a full breakdown on each of the four teams or you just want to talk about which teams you think have a chance to win it. But as we sit here today, I guess, what are your thoughts about who's in the best position to win the Natty?
Well, the best position to win the Natty right now is obviously UConn or Illinois. You're getting the best odds for them. You get UConn plus 650 right now, Illinois plus 450. Fun fact, going into that Duke game, UConn was 25-1 to win the national championship, which is just insane odds considering if you can get past Duke, you have an easier matchup against Illinois, and then you obviously have a tough one in the championship game. But the best team position-wise right now, UConn or Illinois for the best odds because, Michigan plus 145, Arizona plus 190. If they win that game, whoever wins between Arizona and Michigan probably wins the national championship. I'd say 7 out of 10 times, but there's no reason a team like Illinois, especially if they matched up against Michigan, can't win, or UConn, because UConn just knows how to win championships. So I would say one of those two teams on the left side of the bracket are in better shape than the right side of the bracket, though, right now, just because of their semifinal matchup. Yeah,
it's a classic dilemma of, okay, well, I feel more confident in, like, let's say you're a UConn better, let's say you're an Illinois better. You know that you're getting an easier opponent than Arizona, Michigan, whereas on that side, it's like a total coin flip 50-50. So while Michigan might be UConn, might be Illinois in a national championship game, they've also got Arizona like in front of them, and they might lose that game. So does that mean that they're actually the best pick to win it all? No, because they might be more likely to lose their Final Four game. So comes down to a matter of perspective on how you see the difference between UConn and Illinois. If you think there is a clear advantage there, then that team, whoever you pick, is probably in the driver's seat. And when you factor in the odds, to your point there, plus 450 for Illinois, plus 650 for UConn, that's ultimately probably the safer bet. Because while we can sit here today and agree over the course of a 40-game season, Arizona or Michigan is better than UConn or Illinois, it doesn't mean that they're going to win one game, 40 minutes of basketball. I mean, Illinois was a however many 3-4 point underdog against Houston, and they beat them by 10. UConn was down 19 in the second half against Duke, and they come back to win that game. So it's a best of one. Anything can happen.
So which team do you have more faith in on the left side of the bracket to get to the national championship and ultimately win it? UConn or Illinois? And I know we gave picks for this game, so if you guys are watching on YouTube right now, go check it out, the UConn versus Illinois preview. But if you had to pick UConn or Illinois to get to and win the national championship against either Arizona or Michigan, who are you taking?
With all due respect to Illinois, because they could beat UConn. But if you're just asking me who do I have more faith in to win the national championship, it's not even close. It's UConn. Because when you get to that national championship game, you need something to set you apart. And maybe your reasoning for Illinois is, well, with number one team in the country in offensive efficiency, and Keaton Wagler can be this takeover scorer. Like, okay, I could sort of understand that. But what I know is Dan Hurley is the best coach in college basketball. I know that he's going to get to those big primetime championship moments, and I know that he's going to outcoach whoever is on the other side. With all due respect to the boys at Michigan and Arizona, the most important person in that game is going to be Dan Hurley, because he has what it takes as a coach to get his team in positions to win basketball games. Last 3 years, championship, 2-point loss to the national champions as an 8 seed. So if you get to that game, and that takes a lot of work because Illinois is a very good basketball team, but if you get there, you see this in every sport, just massive coaching disadvantages and disadvantages, they matter. And again, that's not to disrespect Arizona or Michigan. It's just to say Dan Hurley is the best in the sport. And when you get to the title game, you don't want to see him on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, going off what you just said there, maybe it's not as good of a matchup for Illinois because of the Dan Hurley effect. And you have to think the Braylon Mullins shot makes them a team of destiny a little bit to at least get to the national championship.
You love a team of destiny.
Well, I mean, that shot was team destiny. It took Caden Boozer literally forgetting how to play basketball. And again, that's a Duke thing. Like, I don't want to just blame Caden Boozer for this, because Duke under John Shire has been very forgetful in the final minutes of games. They're also known for blowing big leads. So maybe it's not a team of destiny, but the fact that UConn doesn't make any threes that whole game, they get the turnover. And also, we're forgetting to talk about the biggest play of the game for Braylon Mullins was not picking it up in the front court and letting it go to the backcourt, because that could have been a backcourt violation. So, just really heads up basketball. UConn knows how to win down the stretch. They know how to play in tight games where I don't know if other teams do. And they're going to test Illinois. So this might not be as good of a matchup for Illinois. Totally agree with you. I think if they get there, they have a chance to win it. But if Michigan plays how I think they're going to play against Arizona, they're going to look like by far the best team in the country. Because again, Jax Lundeborg getting a lot of hate on the internet for the age right now. He's just bigger, faster, stronger than a lot of the freshmen that Arizona do have on their roster.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also, on the other side, on the right side, again, we have broken down our picks for these games already. So like Tanner said, if you guys did not see that, make sure you go check it out on the channel, subscribe so you can see videos like that, all that great stuff. I have more faith in Michigan beating Arizona because of the personnel that they have. As efficient as Arizona is, they've done a great job of dominating the 2-point range, and I think that Michigan defensively has the personnel to combat them. So if I'm looking at this as I get a national championship matchup between UConn and Michigan, it would be so cool to see the difference in styles, because if you look at KenPom's tempo metric, Michigan is 22nd, UConn is 319th. So for Michigan, it would be about getting your athletes out in space, running and gunning, making sure that you can create those mismatches. And on the flip side, for UConn, it's make sure that you slow the game down, get into your actions, run your offense, force them to defend you for multiple actions, multiple looks, 25 seconds per possession, and then get back and set your defense. And that just becomes a matter of who wins out in their style. And I'll be honest, I know that Michigan has imposed their tempo and their will on a lot of teams that they have faced. But we've seen this in postseason basketball. We see it all the time, where it is actually the slower team that a lot of times makes the quicker team feel uncomfortable. And so, again, I think that could be an advantage for UConn, even though they don't have as good of a roster. So I would say ultimately my best pick based on value and all things considered, I think it's UConn at plus 650, the lowest on the board. I think they're the best bet right now.
Now, if you guys go to FanDuel, they probably have one of the best promos going on for new customers right now. Get 300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. That's up to $3,000 basically in bonus bets for your first 10 days on the app. And they got a lot of fun promos here. If you guys want that promo, go check it out on WSN.com, obviously. But a lot of fun, different, promos, markets for the national championship. We got named the title finalists right now. Illinois, Michigan is the favorite right now at plus 200. Illinois, Arizona following that up at plus 260, same as Connecticut versus Michigan. And then you have UConn versus Arizona at plus 330. So good value there. One market I want to talk about, Grant, that's actually pretty fun here. National title double result. So you get two teams for the price of, two teams basically. You get minus 300 for Arizona or Michigan, Illinois or Michigan minus 155. Probably best value on the board to me right now, UConn or Michigan for minus 130. So there's a chance you could cash this bet this weekend if both your teams win.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that. Minus 130. That's a good way to bet that, although you would just get – I'm trying to think. Would you get more value if you just bet the Michigan money line and the UConn money line? I don't think you would, no. So, yeah, that would be a good way to go about it.
Well, so let's say you take $100 on both sides. UConn wins you, 600, and Arizona or Michigan wins you 145, right? So, really, yeah, you'd lose money on Michigan, but you'd make some money on UConn. And obviously, I think Michigan's the safer play of the two there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Actually, wait, no, is that right? No, you would be better off taking the money lines of UConn and Michigan.
Well, if Michigan wins, though, you're down 200 and you're going to make 245 back. So you're going to make $45 back. If
they both win, if they both win, you're better off betting the money lines, but one might lose and then you could be in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because you could go more money on Michigan in that case and still have a little more to work with there too. But yeah, a lot of fun markets there. So in conclusion, Grant, pick your national title, pick your champion right now.
I want to go with UConn, but
you can't do that.
I genuinely do believe they're the best value at plus 650. Because, I mean, if they win this game, then you cash it out for a big profit anyway before the championship game. I'm going to say Michigan. But I think it's a close game with UConn.
I think it has to be Michigan based on what they've done in the tournament so far. And I know they started slow a little bit, but you go Howard, dominant second half, St. Louis, dominant second half, Alabama, like you said, in the second half, just ran away with it. And then against Tennessee, it was the first half, which I was really surprised with because I thought how that game was going early, it was going to be tight. And then Michigan just said, we're done and go on a 20-0 run and put them away early. So, yeah, I mean, tough for Tennessee. Obviously, a team that can't win big games, and Michigan just proved that theory right once again. So Michigan is by far the best team in the country. I think Arizona's really good, but Michigan's a little better. And, Dan Hurley could definitely silence that in a championship game. I don't think Illinois has any chance of beating Michigan in a title game. And I think they'd be a 7. Both UConn or Illinois are going to be 7.5-point underdogs in the championship game. So we have to, come to grips with that. So whoever wins this Arizona-Michigan game probably goes to and wins, obviously, the national championship.
Agreed. But from a value perspective, again, if you've got a little bit of money left over in the account, or you're willing to cash out before the championship game, UConn at plus 650, there's value there.
Definitely. If you made some money on the tournament so far, not many people probably have, but favorites have been crushing against the spread in the tournament.
They did last year. They did this year. That's probably going to be the path forward. It's just going to be the dog or the favorites.
It is crazy to think about that because I saw the numbers for $100 betting every favorite against the spread. You're up like $500-600. Betting every dog on the money line, you're down like 2,000. We go back 3 years ago when I think Matty Betts was one of the guys doing it. You see that dogs were cashing, people made like 3-4 grand on the tournament. So it's crazy to think what NIL has done to the sport, and obviously people betting dogs on the money line.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game now.
Definitely. Well, Grant, that was Ride the Line.
It was a good one. I enjoyed it. March Madness is it's gonna be a lot of fun this weekend. Got some people coming over, so just excited to sit down and enjoy the games.
Yep, can't wait for Saturday, guys. Make sure you follow along, subscribe to the channel, like, share, do it all, and we will see you next time for another episode of Ride the Line.